Here we are, new day, Circuit de SpA. Doing this online, so we're going to have some challenges with some pretty poor drivers. If you take a look at my safety rating, disregard some of that wording up there. These people don't know how to be appropriate when they type, but disregard that for now. What matters is my safety rating is not great. I think I'm at 56, something along those lines. So some of those accidents that I've been having, in the AI races has not been helping me. So I've been paired with a bunch of jabronis, and we'll kind of take a peek at how they're doing against me. So yeah, a bunch of McLarens in front of me. I'm in the Porsche 911 GT3 RS in lime green, one of my favorite colors. Not really, but it gets the job done. So back to the safety, 57. So about, you start at 50 when you first start playing this game, so not too great. Racing craft, pretty terrible. Everything else on there is not great. So getting it kicked off here, 17 minutes at SpA. Haven't done a multiplayer race in probably 2 years. So we're going to see how difficult it is based on these people and some of their attitudes or lack thereof. Even getting off the starting grid here, you can see people are all over the place. Trying to stay close enough behind this McLaren so I don't have any issues at the start. And jacking on the brakes. Got to keep it at 43 kilometers an hour, and I'm all over the place. But anyways, there's the green lights. Jumping out, not too bad of a start. Ferrari kind of pushed me out from Gil here, and you'll see the two of them crash into each other, and one goes off to the left, one to the right, one in front of me. McLaren behind me is giving me a little boost. This actually doesn't look like a Ferrari. That might be McLaren too. No, it's definitely Ferrari. Anyways, down the straight here. McLaren right behind me, coming into the hard braking zone, so just keeping an eye on my rear view mirror to make sure nothing happens. Anyways, he cuts it on the inside. The other McLaren cuts it on the inside, so two passes just in that hard braking section. And there's another one behind me, and what do you know? It's our buddy in the Ferrari. And I get passed by 3 people within the matter of 2 corners. Down to this one, down to second gear. Making sure I don't get bumped out. Giving that guy plenty of room. He's very close to me. Into the left-hand turn here. Down to second. Probably a third gear corner. But make it out unscathed, relatively speaking. Gil on my right. What do you know? McLaren going really wide. Give the bump to the Ferrari. So thanks, buddy. Keeping me on the track here. So back up to 12th. Behind 2 McLarens. Looks like there's one behind me as well. Not taking the best line through that corner, but keeping it clean. Just making sure that keeping an eye out on the guys in front and behind me. Especially through these braking areas where people tend to drive the corner too far in. So 2 McLarens bumping each other. Looks like they're going to get together again here. Cut on the inside. Oh, and what do you know? McLaren behind me dumps me. End up back in the wall. Looks like I got some pretty severe damage. The rest of the pack goes through, passes me. So down to 17th out of 19. And pretty damaged at this point. Just trying to make it through. And what do you know? 2 cars spun out. So get 2 more spots back. But I'm really needing to make a pit stop here. And you'll see what happens. So sharp turn here down to first. Pits are straight ahead, and for whatever reason, either I didn't see it or I avoided it, I stayed on the track. So kind of a big deal when you have this much damage coming up on this long straightaway. Gonna be losing a lot of speed. So I gotta stay out for another lap. There's no going backwards on a racetrack, so going forwards here to 14th place, just trying to keep it clean. We'll see how that goes down this straight. This turn is really difficult if you don't get on those curves, and you can see that first one I missed. So I brake quite a bit. Another car goes past me, way outside to the right on this front stretch here, so not doing so hot. First time doing a multiplayer race, 13.5 minutes or so left, and I still need to make a pit stop to repair this damage, so whatever. We'll keep going here through the switch over turns here down to second gear. Black flag, as you can tell, that's for me. Get back in the pits, would you? But of course I ignore that because I just gotta finish this lap. Down to this longer turn here. Keeping it in second. Relatively clean. Down to this lefter. Very slow. So luckily, if you look at my radar there on the top left, don't have anybody that's very close, so I can kind of take my time, make sure that I don't cause any other unneeded damage through this long sweeper left. Keeping the speed up. And there's a yellow flag ahead, so I'd expect to see a spun out car. But we went from 18 players to 17, so somebody forced quit because they crashed into a wall. Not me. I keep driving. You might as well, right? Get some laps under your belt. Hopefully stay out of the grass. That would be preferable. So yeah, down the back stretch here. Keeping it clean. Driving like a grandpa. You know, same stuff. Tricky corner here, staying to the right. Lifting off the gas quite a bit. Onto the curb. So the line was good. The speed was terrible. But down to the chicane here. Down to first gear. Braking really early. Didn't want to miss the pits. That was the main thing here. So pulling into the pits. Guy's been waving that black flag for 10 minutes. I'm sure his arm's pretty tired, but you gotta do what you gotta do, buddy. Slowing down. And I forgot to realize that my pit was in the second stall lane. So I gotta drive it. I'm all the way over to the right because I'm like, where the heck is my pit? Oh, it's not on this side. Gotta go all the way around to basically the front stretch where the additional pit stop locations are, and we're gonna get over there and hopefully we'll see our little indicator of a pit with our good old pit crew just hanging out waiting for me. They've been there for a while. So coming around the corner to this wall, and is it there? Still can't see it. I'm wondering to myself, did I pass it? Well, I see a couple of cars up there, so that's promising. There's the red indicator of my pit. So luckily, I didn't pass it. And we'll creep into here. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but trying to get the car stopped at the exact spot, it's not the easiest thing. So I actually did an okay job. You can see the car that behind me there that logged out. So 1:21. We'll take a minute here and kind of fast forward through this video and get back to the race. Exiting the pits, you notice Mr. Ferrari tried to block us off there, so he was being a little bit of a jerk, and luckily he went into the shadow realm and he was unable to block me. So coming out of the pits in 14th, I do notice in my radar that it looks like he's picking up speed and probably on the hunt to get back to me. So coming through the chicane here, 8.5 minutes left to go. Again, just trying to get a finished race under my belt and make some progress on this track. And you can definitely see that Ferrari, he's moving in, trying to probably ruin my day, I'd assume. And he's coming around that hairpin and looking for some redemption. If you remember, that's the same Ferrari that we had a little bit of an interaction with before. But that's not my problem. Coming around the long sweeping left, dive way out. And he's definitely going to gain some time over me through this section. But I'm steadfast. Going to make sure that I get through this and make it through this turn segment. Still see that radar blip back there. He's not really gaining on me, so I'm driving okay now that the car has been repaired. And we're coming across this additional sweep here onto the long right before the long straightaway, and it seems like we lost the Ferrari. So he had 17 before, down to 16, so he has dropped out of the race. And as long as nothing terrible happens, I should be able to complete this without any additional issues. So down the back straight here, coming up on the tight chicane, down to first gear. ABS didn't look like it was working, but hey, you know, oh, now I know where the pit is. Looked at it for a second, but just kidding. Down the front straightaway here, and finishing this lap up. 4 minutes and 57 seconds, obviously due to the pit stop, but it's looking pretty good. The ability to maintain second to last, we're not in last place. That's what matters. So coming across the front straight where my pit is to this difficult section, right on the curb a little bit, still trying to figure out this turn. It's not the easiest. Down that front straight, second front straight, I guess you would call it, to the hard braking zone, and down to 6 minutes left here. So we're gonna speed up a little bit, get us cut in a little bit closer towards the end, and we'll see how we're doing here. Another person did drop, so down to 15. I am in second to last now. So we'll cut this here, speed it up, and get towards the end of this track. So as you could see here, did have a little bit of an issue while blasting through that high speed. That guy did dump me, ended up in the corner, but at this point, just trying to finish the race, get it over with, call it a day, hang up the hat. You know what it is. It's time to get this over with. I am in 11th place, so a couple more people dropped, or I passed some people. I'm not really sure what happened here, but down to 10th, and now people are exiting here. So the guy who dumped me is pretty close and closing in, but this is the last lap, so don't have any issues with getting across the finish line, hopefully, prior to him ending my day, which would not be fun if he were to do it again. So into the corkscrew for the last time, chicane, whatever you want to call it, coming in here, and we're going to call it here. 7.5 seconds slower than last time. Wonder why? Because I ended up in the wall. But hey, we finished a race. That's what matters. Some shenanigans going on doing donuts in the corner. So thanks again, everybody, for taking a peek. Hopefully the audio, both my voice and the music, is a little bit more appropriate volume-wise. Spent some time with this setup. It's hopefully going to be a lot better moving on. So thanks for your time, everybody, and we will catch you shortly here with another race in the very near future. So thanks again, and have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon. See ya.